Before you can register for a Get in the Action Center volunteer opportunity, the system requires you to either log into the system or register as a volunteer if you haven't done so already. You can do either one of these things by clicking the login button at the top right-hand corner of the web page. So if you've already registered through the Get in the Action Center, simply input your login credentials here. If you registered in the past but you can't seem to remember your password, click this Forgot Password link and the system will send you a temporary password that you can use to update your login credentials. If you've never registered as a Get in the Action Center volunteer, click the Not a Member Register link here to open the volunteer registration form. Now the registration process from that point on is fairly straightforward, but I would like to point out a couple of somewhat unique characteristics of this specific registration form. So for example, in the basic info section, the system asks for some rather personal information, your date of birth. Now this information is needed in order to ensure you are old enough to volunteer, as most of our volunteer opportunities require you to be at least 18 years old to participate. Now the one other thing I'd like to point out is a required field that's really easy to miss because it's hidden inside this toggle button called Volunteer Registration Questions. You have to click this icon, the plus sign, in order to open it, and then you have to click I accept before you could submit the registration form. Now what this question is asking is whether you have read and accept the terms within the Volunteer Waiver and Release form and the Get in the Action Center Terms and Conditions, both of which can be found in this Terms and Conditions link directly above the Submit button. So now let's say you've completed your form. You've got all the required fields filled out. Looks good. Make sure you have populated the required field that's hidden. Simply click Submit. Wait for it to load. Takes a little while. This is normal. Okay, this looks good. You know you've registered successfully when you reach our registration success page, a lot of smiling children. And now that you've registered as a volunteer, you have access to our volunteer portal, where you can register for volunteer opportunities and manage your own personal volunteer profile.